Girls, please move.
Pre-COVID now looks like
yeah, I was remembering that small conversation I had with you.
I'm scared of physics. Physics and mathematics. I can handle any consulting Unfortunately, ma'am, I was actually waiting for my 10th grade to be over so that I can get out of physics.
She's our first flying sister.
She's 43 years.
Yes.
You've always heard of science, but this is the first time.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
By the way, I'm late, so are the kids. It's an honor to be invited to this event. We have no idea what your institutions
It's great to hear from you. It's an honor for us.
See, there are several that have branched out, that have focused on rankings, that have done so many other things. But I think you guys are focused on quality. You guys are focused absolutely on building stellar reputation. And eventually that stands. Corporate, you can have multiple stories, multiple chains, but what you guys stand for, nobody else does. Thank you. What's the plan? Is it all public administration?
Sujata, sorry.
Escape first.
What's the thank you. How many students will be seeing? So initially,
one ruling party opposition, another in all the parties are there. So they'll be asking questions to the ruling party and they have to look.
the mala kuturuda. Any language antaru, parliament antaru. Sometimes you wonder what you end up. But thank you.
And all the students are from BA, BCom and BA. I know first year. Come discuss.
We have 2008 connection and then almost 70. Together teaching 150.
Hello beta, how are you? Hi beta. You all look sharp by the way. Suited up and all that.
So we
Just to
have
know.
quality assurance cell in the college. So it's a president's.
What's your name beta? Amina. Ridhima. They call you Janisha. Glad you went with the full name. Janisha. So Amina, Ridhima and Janisha. Thank you girls. So you are the president of what? Student council. Lovely. So the one send me checks. Most important. Especially we have a budget session coming up. Very important. Lovely meeting. Eight course meeting.
Microbiology,
You are
Maybe why
journalism, psychology.
very worried about talking about
HOD microbiology.
my exam college.
Yes. So you were a student of microbiology.
Then I did biotechnology from Pune University. Then I have a master's in business administration from New York. So good to connect with kids like this.
I know you are very fond of youth.
No, I love
They are
kids.
waiting.
Not this level of kids, but the small. These guys are already like. I have two kids now. My son is 20, my daughter is 17. So now beyond the teen years, you know, they have a mind of their own. They won't listen to it. Honestly, as parents, we want to see them all like tiny dots. That's it. Should we go? Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
No. Wait a minute. అరే అరే సారీ మాట్లాడండి తొందరగా అడ్డం వస్తారు ఇక్కడ ఇది కానీ ఇక్కడ అడ్డం వస్తారు పంపించేదాకున్నాం అడ్డం వస్తారు ఆడ
A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries. I request your audience to take a seat. A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, the honorable chief guest for the day, the dynamic political leader and youth icon, Shri Kalvakuntla Tarakadama Rao Garu, popularly known as KTR Garu, former IT Minister Telangana, working president of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti and member Legislative Assembly from Srisala constituency in Telangana, Shri Dasuju Shravan Kumar Garu, member of Legislative Council, representatives from the media, respected Sister Principal, Dr. Sister A. Vijayarani, IQAC coordinators, deans, faculty, and members of the audience. On behalf of St. Anne's College for Women, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to our Intercollegiate Youth Parliament organized by Department of Public Administration, School of Social Sciences, in collaboration with St. Anne's Governance and Association, Saga Club. This event brings together bright young minds from different colleges to engage in thoughtful debate, democratic dialogue, and meaningful discussion on issues of the society that shape our nation. St. Anne's College for Women has been dedicated to induce and encourage such exchanges among students, as we have also formally hosted the 17th National Youth Parliament Competition, Mock Women Diplomats and Model United Nations Mock Constituent Assembly as a part of the Cluster College event, to name a few. Today marks another instance in continuance of this tradition in the annals of St. Anne's College. We shall now seek the blessings of the Almighty. I request the college choir Sela to lead us into prayer. The audience are requested to rise.
The scripture portion for today is taken from 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 to 6. I exhort therefore that first of all supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceful life in all godliness and honesty. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of God our Saviour, who will have all men be saved and to come unto the knowledge of truth. For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself a ransom for all, to be testified in due time. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Request the audience to kindly take their seats, and thank you, Sarah. The lighting of the lamp symbolizes the illumination of young minds with knowledge, responsibility, and ethical values, marking the beginning of thoughtful dialogue and leadership. Now I request the esteemed dignitaries and sister principal to kindly proceed for lighting the lamp. I invite Ms. Sridevi, Head Department of Sanskrit, to kindly lend her voice to the ceremony.
Asatoma तव चरणौ प्रणमामः नाद ब्रह्ममयी जय वागीश्वरि नाद ब्रह्ममयी जय वागीश्वरि शरणं ते गच्छामः शरणं ते गच्छामः.
Thank you, respected dignitaries and Sister Principal. Thank you, Ms. Srinidhi. The Indian classical dance is a beautiful expression of the rich cultural heritage of our country. I invite Ms. Akshaya for a recital of the welcome dance. Thank you, Akshaya, for that beautiful presentation. It is my proud privilege to invite now our respected Sister Principal, Dr. Sister A. Vijayarani, to deliver the welcome address. One of the illustrious alumni of St. Anne's College for Women, a dedicated academic with a doctorate in chemistry, Dr. Sister A. Vijayarani is a visionary leader and an inspiring mentor whose constant guidance continues to shape the future of this institution.
A very good morning. On behalf of St. Anne's College for Women, it gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome you all to the Collegiate Youth organized by the Department of Public Administration and St. Anne's Governance and Association, Saga Club. It is a matter of great pride and privilege to warmly welcome a dynamic leader, visionary policy maker, an inspiring voice for the youth of India, Sri KT Ramarao, Working President of Bharat Rashtra Samiti, former Minister for IT Industries, Communications of Telangana, and the dedicated MLA from Sirisella. On behalf of the management, faculty and students, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to you, sir. Your presence among us today will undoubtedly motivate our students to think boldly, speak responsibly, and lead with confidence. I extend warm welcome to all the members present here, and I also welcome all the media personnel. Thank you for your presence. Today, as we stand tall on the strong foundation of 43 years of transformative education and purposeful growth, I am delighted to share some of the remarkable achievements and honors that have shaped the journey of St. Anne's College for Women and distinguished our institution over the years. Guided by our commitment to academic excellence, value-based education and holistic development, we continue to nurture young women to become confident leaders and responsible citizens. We firmly believe that empowered women build empowered nations, and it is truly encouraging to have visionary leaders like KT Ramarao Garu, who consistently support initiatives that promote youth leadership, innovation, and women's empowerment. Our college proudly offers a diverse academic portfolio of 40 undergraduate programs spanning commerce, management, sciences, and social sciences. In addition, we offer 5 postgraduate programs in management, computer applications, chemistry, clinical nutrition and public health, artificial intelligence and machine learning, along with 3 specialized PG diploma programs in nutrition dietetics, bioinformatics, and counseling psychology, catering to the evolving demands of higher education and industry. The total student strength of the institution is 3,700 plus students with 150 dedicated faculty. We were privileged to host the NACP team visit in 2024, and our institution was honored with the prestigious A grade, securing an impressive CGP of 324 out of 4 in the 4th accreditation of Sri Naveen Mitchell, Commissioner for Recognition. Besides being featured among the top colleges in arts, science and commerce by India Today and the Week magazine, we were also ranked among the top 10 private autonomous colleges in the country at the India Higher Education Ranking Awards by Education World. Further reinforcing our academic stature, the college has secured a position in the 200-300 band of the prestigious NRF rankings, reflecting our strong academic framework, robust infrastructure, and holistic educational environment. Our college has created a remarkable milestone in higher education in Telangana by securing 15 Telangana State Meritorious Teacher Awards for its distinguished faculty. I am delighted to share that our college has demonstrated sporting excellence by winning the Usmania University Overall Championship in Sports for the 15th consecutive year, an extraordinary achievement that speaks volumes about our legacy of discipline, teamwork and perseverance. Our students continue to scale new heights in placements with the highest salary package reaching an impressive 13.25 lakhs per annum this year, highlighting the strong industry trust and employability of our graduates. In our pursuit of innovation and entrepreneurship, we have launched the St. Anne's Incubation Foundation, a visionary initiative designed to nurture startups and entrepreneurial talent. This esteemed foundation was inaugurated by Sri N. Uttam Kumar Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for Irrigation and Command Area Development and Food and Civil Supplies, Government of Telangana. Our global outlook is reflected in our vibrant student exchange programs, through which our students have had the opportunity to visit and engage with renowned international institutions such as Kansas University, USA, University of Alabama, USA, and Sinclair Community College, USA, among others, broadening their academic horizons and global perspectives. Our college has significantly strengthened its global academic footprint through purposeful international collaborations and innovative digital engagement. Partnerships with prestigious bodies such as ACCA, ICDS, UK, Royal Society of Chemistry, London, Al-Azhar University, Islamic Republic of Iran, and Berzea University, Malaysia, have enriched curriculum standards, professional exposure, and research orientation. Further, under the institution's pioneering, have expanded cross-border classrooms and intercultural learning by signing recent MOU with the Dallas Baptist University, USA, and Nara, Japan Hub, among others. Under the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan initiative, our institution has adopted 5 villages in Kottur Mandal, Gudur, Narsapaguda, Ragadi Madipalli, Mallapur, and Mekagoda. Through this initiative, the college engages students and faculty in community development activities and address local socio-economic challenges. The program focuses on promoting sustainable development, awareness, and knowledge exchange between the institution and rural communities. We have provided financial support towards equipping the schools with necessary infrastructure like chairs, public address system to a possible extent. We also sponsor the street lamps to illuminate village where they need it. In the presence of visionary leader like KT Ramarao Garu, this youth parliament becomes more than an academic exercise. It becomes a platform where young voices learn the true spirit of democracy. At our institution, youth parliament empowers our students to think like policymakers, speak with conviction, and debate with responsibility. It trains young women to engage with national issues, develop leadership qualities, and understand that democracy thrives when youth participate actively. Through this initiative, our students learn that leadership is not only about holding positions, but about raising informed voices, shaping ideas, and contributing to the nation's progress. Programs like Youth Parliament ignite the confidence in our young women to step forward as future parliamentarians, administrators, innovators, and change makers of India. With great pride and heartfelt gratitude, we once again extend a warm welcome to our esteemed Chief Guest KT Ramarao Garu and all the distinguished dignitaries present here today. I wish this intercollegiate youth platform a meaningful and successful session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Sister, for your inspiring address. I request Sister Principal to kindly stay back on the dais to honor our guest. I now request the Honorable Chief Guest for the day, Shri KT Ramarao Sir, former IT Minister Telangana, Working President of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti and Member Legislative Assembly from Sirisala constituency in Telangana, to kindly ascend the dais. I request Sister Principal to kindly greet the Chief Guest with floral greetings.
Parliament, I request Dr. Lavanya, Head Department of Public Administration, to kindly introduce the events.
Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Kalvakuntla Tarak Ramarao Garu, respected Sister Principal, Judges, Deans, Heads of Department, faculty members, distinguished participants, and my fellow young parliamentarians. A bright and cheerful good morning to everyone who present here. I am Dr. Lavanya Mukherjee, Head Department of Public Administration, St. Anne's College for Women. It's both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today in this inter-college youth parliament competition, a platform that celebrates the spirit of democracy, dialogue and responsible leadership among the youth of our nation. Youth Parliament is not merely a simulation of legislative proceedings, it's a reflection of the democratic values that shape our society. It gives young minds the opportunity to voice ideas, debate policies, and understand responsibilities that come with governance. In a democracy like India, where diversity of thought is our greatest strength, constructive debate and informed discussion are essential. Through this forum, we as students learn to respect differing viewpoints, think critically, and work collectively toward solutions that benefit society. Today, as we deliberate on important issues, let us remember that the purpose of debate is not just to win arguments, but to seek truth, promote understanding, and strengthen democratic ideals. In the words of Nelson Mandela, the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. Through this youth parliament, we witness young minds stepping forward to engage in meaningful dialogue and democratic debate. We are deeply grateful to our esteemed Chief Guest for accepting our invitation despite the short notice and for sparing his valuable time to join us today. Your presence means a great deal to all of us, sir. A heartfelt thanks to our Sister Principal for granting us this opportunity and inspiring us to grow. We sincerely thank you, ma'am, for granting permission and conduct this session and your constant support. Thank you, sister. With this spirit, I look forward to a thoughtful and engaging session ahead. Thank you.
The session will begin with round 1. The students have already been apprised of the rules of the session. We shall now begin with the mock youth parliament.
Honorable members, a very good morning to all of you. I'm grateful and truly honored to welcome you all to today's Youth Parliament session, and I hope this session will be fruitful. Before we proceed with today's agenda, it is my privilege to introduce the newly elected member of this House. This representative has joined us with commitment to serve, deliberate, and contribute to meaningful discussions on issues that shape our society and future. Sri Arjun Ram Meghal, Law and Justice Minister, Rajasthan. Let us now proceed with the first business of the House, oath or affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Honorable Speaker and esteemed members of the National Youth Parliament, Shri Arjun Ram Meghal have been elected for the lower house of the Parliament. Shri Arjun Ram Meghal, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament of Bikaner constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. So, would you like to take oath or affirmation?
Oath.
In which language would you like to take the oath? I am Arjun Ram Meghal.
I am Arjun Ram Meghal.
Have been elected as a member of the lower house.
Have been elected as a member of the lower house
of the National Youth Parliament.
Of the National Youth Parliament.
Do swear in the name of God.
Do swear in the name of God.
That I will bear faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the Constitution of India.
And allegiance to the Constitution of India.
As by law established.
As by law established.
I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
I'll uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
And I will faithfully discharge the duty.
I will faithfully discharge the duty.
Which I am about to enter.
Which I am about to enter. It is with profound sorrow and regret that I inform this House about the sad demise of Dr. Ricky Andrew J. Shekhar, Honorable Member of Parliament from the Shillong constituency of Meghalaya. Dr. Shekhar was a member of the Voice of the People Party and was elected to the 18th Lok Sabha in 2024 general elections, representing the people of Shillong with dedication and sincerity. An academic by profession, he served as an assistant professor at Northeastern Hill University before entering public life and worked to represent the aspirations of the people of Meghalaya. His entry into Parliament marked the rise of a new voice from the Northeast, and he worked with sincerity to represent the aspirations and concerns of the people of Meghalaya. Dr. Shekhar passed away on 19th Feb 2026 following a sudden cardiac arrest at the age of 54. His untimely demise has a great loss to the people of Meghalaya and to this House. Honorable Prime Minister, to convey his condolences, please.
Honorable Speaker, respected members of Parliament, today we gather with heavy hearts to mourn the loss of Ricky Andrew, a distinguished leader and servant of the nation. Let us honor his memory by carrying forward his ideas and commitment to the nation. May his soul rest in peace and may his family find strength in his hour of grief. Thank you.
Honorable Leader of Opposition, to convey her condolences, please.
We deeply mourn the loss of Dr. Manmohan Singh. Honorable members of the House, I request the House to rise while we observe a moment of silence in his memory. May his soul rest in peace.
We shall now proceed with the introductory speeches from the Honourable Ministers. I invite the Honourable Prime Minister to address the House.
Honourable Speaker, respected members of the Parliament, it is privilege to address this House which stands as guardian of our democracy and voice of our people. मित्रों, ये सांसद सिर्फ कानून बनाने की जगह नहीं है, ये भारत के सपनों को साकार करने का मंच है. We are entrusted with the hopes of millions and it is our duty to rise above differences and work together for the progress of our nation. मैं मानता हूँ कि हमारी जिम्मेदारी, चर्चा और फैसले भारत की नागरिक के हर जिंदगी को प्रभावित करते हैं. ऑपोजिशन कहता है अफोर्डेबिलिटी और एक्सेस मुश्किल है, हम कहते हैं मुश्किल को मौका बनाने का नाम है बीजेपी. टुगेदर लेट अस मूव फॉरवर्ड विथ यूनिटी, रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड कमिटमेंट, स्पिरिट ऑफ सबका साथ
Next, I invite the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, I rise in this House with clarity and conviction. India's unity, security and sovereignty are not subjects for compromise. For decades, this country saw indecision on issues that demanded courage. But in 2019, under the decisive leadership of Narendra Modi, our government took a historic step, the abrogation of Article 370. Let me say it clearly in this House, एक देश, दो संविधान, दो प्रधान के साथ नहीं चल सकता. Article 370 had become a wall between Jammu Kashmir and the rest of India. We removed that wall. Today, development, democracy and investment are reaching the people of the region. And I want to say this to the opposition benches. जब देश को मजबूत फैसलों की जरूरत थी, तब आप लोगों ने सिर्फ राजनीति की, हमने राजनीति नहीं राष्ट्रनीति की है. और नेशनल सिक्योरिटी our policy is crystal clear. Zero tolerance towards terrorism. Let those who question our resolve hear this clearly. भारत झुकेगा नहीं, भारत रुकेगा नहीं और भारत आतंकवाद के सामने कभी झुकेगा नहीं. But whenever this government takes a bold decision, the opposition starts spreading fear. To them I want to say, आप लोगों को देश की सुरक्षा से ज्यादा अपनी वोट बैंक की चिंता है, लेकिन बीजेपी के लिए सबसे बड़ा वोट बैंक 140 करोड़ भारतीय हैं. जय हिंद.
Honorable Minister of Education, please.
Namaskar to the Honorable Speaker and respected members of this House. With great pride, I address this gathering. Today, I stand here not just as Finance Minister of leading party. I stand here as a representative of a nation that is determined to move forward with confidence. This budget is not just a mere statement. It is a roadway for India's growth and stability. I understand that the opposition may focus on finding challenges, but that is their role in the democracy. While we understand some may focus on finding challenges, this problem, I stress, our party is focused on finding solutions. For a long time, we have accepted a thinking of जैसे चलता है वैसे चलने दो. But today's India have moved beyond that thinking. आज का भारत सिर्फ चलता नहीं है, ये आगे बढ़ रहा है. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद.
Honorable Minister of External Affairs.
Honorable Madam Speaker and esteemed members of the House, I rise to address this House on matter concerning India's external relations in today's rapidly evolving global landscape. India's foreign policy continues to be guided by the principles of strategic autonomy, mutual respect and peaceful cooperation. भारत की विदेश नीति का एक ही सिद्धांत है, राष्ट्रीय हित सबसे पहले. India's foreign policy is not about taking sides. It is about standing firmly for India's national interest. भारत किसी के दबाव में चलने वाला देश नहीं है. हम अपने राष्ट्रीय हित के अनुसार निर्णय लेते हैं. धन्यवाद.
Honorable Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I rise to highlight the importance of empowering the youth of our nation. India is one of the youngest countries in the world, and our government believes that the energy of our youth must be channeled to nation's building. Through initiatives like Khelo India, India ensures that young athletes receive proper training and scholarship and opportunities to represent India at global platforms such as Olympic Games. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development.
Honorable Speaker, distinguished members and fellow citizens of tomorrow. Today I was asked by a little girl while entering the parliament that, "Ma'am, are we heard inside?" I looked at her and answered, "Yes, that is exactly why we are going in." That question stayed with me because it is the same question millions of children and women across this country ask every single day. Are we heard inside? And my answer from this very floor is yes, We will and we must. Our ministry exists on one belief. No child should grow up afraid. No woman should live diminished. Every girl deserves education. Every mother deserves dignity. Every child deserves safety and joy. As young leaders, we have the power to make that change. I commit to fighting for equal opportunities, child protection and women empowerment. Not someday, but now. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to briefly introduce the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. This ministry is responsible for the planning and development of road transport and national highways across India through institutions such as National Highway Authority of India. The primary objective of this ministry is to accelerate economic growth, provide progress in the entire economy, and ultimately to improve the efficiency in the transportation. हमारी देश की सड़कें हमारी पहचान है, हमारी देश की सड़कें हमारी बुनियाद है। धन्यवाद।
Honorable Minister of Defence.
Honorable Speaker, I rise today to represent the voice that stands at the front line of India's security, who carries the responsibility of safeguarding the sovereignty, security and strength of our great nation. As is often said, Bharat ki suraksha se bada koi daitva nahi. With this commitment, I stand here representing the Honorable Defence Minister of India.
I now invite the Leader of the Opposition from the Indian National Congress to address the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings to Honorable Speaker and respected members of the Parliament. Today, I take privilege to rise not only as the Leader of the Opposition, but also as the voice of the youth, and to perform the duty that is essential in every democracy, that is to ask questions that the government may not prefer to hear. The treasury benches often believe that a strong majority means the debate is already won. But let me say, the democracy does not run on numbers alone. It runs on transparency, accountability, and the courage to answer difficult questions. The government often says everything is being announced, but sometimes it feels like announcements are growing faster than the outcomes. Because in today's politics, it sometimes appears it is easier to make big announcements than to deliver big outcomes. So I ask the government, if everything is truly going so well, why are the questions from the people becoming louder every single day? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next, I invite the Leader of the Opposition from the Aam Aadmi Party.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, and esteemed members of the House, I stand here representing the Aam Aadmi Party, a movement built on one simple belief: politics must serve the common people of this country. Our party stands for clean governance, transparency, quality education, accessible healthcare, and accountability in public life. We believe that true strength of democracy lies not in the power of those who rule, but in the voice and dignity of the common citizens. With that commitment, I rise in this House today to represent the people and question the government. Thank you.
We now begin the question hour. Honorable Opposition Leader of the Congress, you may please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings once again to the members of the House. Today, we are discussing the present trade agreement between India and United States. The government calls it a historic partnership, but the opposition has a single question. Is this partnership truly equal, or is it a deal where India gives more and receives less? Because on the front end, Madam Speaker, everything looks so promising, but when you look at the back end, the reports suggest that the United States imposed tariffs of around 18% on several Indian exports such as textiles, chemicals, leather and machinery.
while India agreed to reduce tariffs significantly on several US industrial and agricultural products. We have all the proofs to submit and we need answers for this. This government constantly speaks of Atmanirbhar Bharat, but when we open our markets widely to foreign imports, we must ask, is this Atmanirbhar Bharat or Import Nirbhar Bharat? Farmers are already facing rising costs, and now India has agreed to ease barriers for several US agricultural products such as soybean, lal jawar, cotton, and also tree nuts. This is not a fair competition. This is an economic wrestling between a tractor and a tank. So the question is very simple. Are the Indian farmers safe? Are Indian industries stronger? Are Indian workers getting more opportunities? If the answer is unclear, the government must reconsider its approach. So, trade agreements should not make headlines abroad while creating anxiety at home. They should make India stronger, fairer, and truly self-reliant. This government says everything is under control. The country is simply asking, under whose control? Honorable Speaker, respected members of Parliament, sometimes I hear the opposition say that India has surrendered in trade agreements. मित्रों, अगर भारत सरेंडर करता तो आज दुनिया 4th largest economy नहीं होता और exports $824 billion तक नहीं पहुंचते. Regarding export advantages, India has gained expanded access for pharmaceuticals worth $30 billion, IT services contributing over $150 billion workers, and textile employing 40 to 50 million workers. These sectors will benefit directly from American market openings. जो बाजार पहले बंद थे, अब भारत के लिए खुल रहे हैं. On the concern that Indian farmers may struggle against subsidized American products, safeguards are in place. India continues to provide MSP support and tariff protection, ensure that 150 million farmers are not left unprotected. And किसान की मेहनत पर कोई समझौता नहीं होगा. उनका हित सरकार की पहली जिम्मेदारी है. For MSMEs, which contribute nearly 30% of India's GDP and 48% of exports, the government has ensured phased import schedules, credit support, and digital infrastructure. 7.4 plus crore MSCs employing over 32 crore people. Finally, on Atmanirbhar Bharat, let me emphasize self-reliance that does not mean isolation. Imports of critical technology strengthen domestic innovation. We import to innovate and we innovate to export. आत्मनिर्भरता का मतलब है ग्लोबल भारत बाजार में भारत की शक्ति. धन्यवाद.
Honorable Suresh Reddy, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Home Minister.
Greetings to the House, Honorable Speaker and esteemed members of the Youth Parliament. PM CARES Fund was created during COVID crisis and crores of Indians donated their hard-earned money, believing it was purely for humanitarian aid. The Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah himself is a trustee of this fund, which makes him directly accountable to the people of the country. Also, recently, nation has already witnessed a massive controversy surrounding the electoral bond scheme, which was struck down by the Supreme Court of India, undermining transparency in the political fund. All I want to say to the government, एक इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड से पैसा लेना काफी नहीं था जब चैरिटी के नाम पे भी पैसा लिया जा रहा है. या फिर सरकार को हमेशा एक लूप होल ढूंढने की आदत पड़ चुकी है जिससे राजनीति चल सके. Why are the trustee of this fund and the member of the cabinet running away from answering basic not answering the questions directly. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for the question. But the opposition speaking about transparency today is quite surprising. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when the entire world was struggling, our government focused on saving lives. This fund was created during one of the biggest global crises, when the country needed immediate resources to protect lives. Under the leadership of Narendra Modi, this fund was established to provide rapid assistance for healthcare infrastructure, emergency relief and vaccine support. Through PM Cares, the government funded oxygen generation plants across districts, ventilators for hospital and support for vaccine development so that India could protect its citizens during a national emergency. But Honorable Speaker, I find it surprising that leaders who remain silent for years on corruption are suddenly worried about transparency. And since the question is coming from the benches that supported governments known for massive coal scam, Commonwealth, देश ने सब देखा है. And even in Telangana, projects like Kaleshwaram faced serious allegations on financial mismanagement. So before questioning the government that worked day and night during a national crisis, the opposition should first look at its own record. देश ने घोटालों की सरकार भी देखी है और देश सेवा की सरकार भी देख रही है. धन्यवाद.
Honorable Leader of Aam Aadmi Party, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Finance Minister.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, and esteemed members of the House. Through you, I would like to ask Honorable Minister of Finance regarding the taxation system in our country. From the moment a child is born until the moment a citizen dies, the government seems present at almost every step of life, not always to help, but to pay tax. Education is taxed, fuel is taxed, homes are taxed, even medicines are taxed. टैक्स देने में तो सरकार कभी देर नहीं करती, लेकिन संविदा देने में अक्सर देर जाती है. Honorable Speaker, Madam, today India's gross tax revenue is estimated at more than rupees 44 lakhs crore. Direct tax alone contributes nearly rupees 27 lakh crore, while GST collections have crossed rupees 22 lakhs crore in a single year. Taxes today contribute nearly 11 to 12% of our national GDP. जनता टैक्स देती है विकास के लिए. जनता टैक्स देती है विकास के लिए, सिर्फ ट्रेजरी भराकर रखने के लिए नहीं. Honorable Speaker, Madam, citizens are fulfilling their duties by paying taxes honestly. The real question is, I request Honorable Finance Minister to clarify this question. Is the government fulfilling its duty in using that money wisely? And are the taxpayers of this country receiving the same value in return for the tax they pay? Therefore, Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to conclude with this. A nation does not become great by collecting more taxes. A nation becomes truly great when taxes create real opportunities and dignity for its people.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to state that the opposition is trying to portray taxation as a burden on citizens. But let me clear, taxation in democracy is not a burden on citizens. It is the very foundation of nation building. Before saying such thing, I ask the Honorable Member, have you noticed जो रास्ते से आज आप आए हैं, वो रास्ता कैसे बना है? वो आपके, हमारे और जनता के दिए हुए टैक्स से ही बना है. The government understands the value of every paisa that comes from tax revenue. And let me make it very clear, जनता का दिया हुआ टैक्स बर्बाद नहीं हो रहा है. They are utilized for the welfare of us, from making schools to the infrastructure and utilizing them for the beneficiary schemes, and to even supporting the families of those soldiers and the frontline warriors who lost their lives to protect us. And since
opposition mentioned from birth to death about the tax. Let me clarify one important fact. फ्यूनरल सर्विसेज पे कोई टैक्स नहीं है, कोई जीएसटी नहीं है. बिफोर आस्किंग एनी क्वेश्चन, मैं अपोजिशन मेंबर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि जितना आप विवाद करते हैं कभी ढंग से जांच भी कर ले. धन्यवाद.
Honorable Gaurav, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Minister of Defence. Greetings to Honorable Madam Speaker. The world today is witnessing the conflict between Russia and Ukraine war and Israel and Hamas war, provoking the modern warfare that erupt anytime and anywhere. India has been the fourth largest military support, but still dependent on imports, and yet there are several parliamentary commitments that have repeatedly pointed out the stockpiles of long duration war scenarios. Honorable Minister, सर, जब दुनिया में हर जगह जंग की तैयारी हो रही है, तो क्या भारत सिर्फ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रेडीनेस पर चल रहा है या बैटलफील्ड के लिए रेडी है? Are we genuinely prepared for the two-war situation, or we are just relying on a strong speeches or a hashtags like आत्मनिर्भर भारत? क्योंकि देश की सुरक्षा आत्मनिर्भर भारत से नहीं, प्रिपेयरनेस से होती है. सरहद पर खड़े जवानों को ना स्लोगन्स की जरूरत है, ना गरम हवा भाषणों की. सिर्फ चाहिए तो खड़ा भारत, और एक चीज चाहिए, तैयार भारत. So, Honorable Minister, the nations want the clarity. Is India prepared for the battlefield or only prepared for headlines of the news?
Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the concern raised by the Honorable Deputy Minister. Let me assure this House with absolute clarity, India does not prepare for war in the moment of crisis. India prepares for it every single day. Today, our armed forces are among the most professional and battle-ready forces in the world. Through integrated theatre commands, modernization of defense technology, and joint military exercises with global partners, India is constantly strengthening its operational readiness. We have demonstrated this capability through swift and precise operations such as the surgical strikes and the Balakot air strike, which reflected both strategic planning and operational efficiency. So, to the Honorable Deputy Minister's question, yes, India is fully prepared to defend its sovereignty, its people, and every inch of its territory. As we firmly believe, भारत शांति में विश्वास रखता है, लेकिन अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए पूरी तरह सक्षम और तैयार है. Thank you.
Honorable K.V. Venugopal, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Minister of Education.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, it is often told that education is the key to success, but today it seems like the key opens the door to unemployment rather than opportunities. India produces over 1 crore graduates every year, yet according to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, youth unemployment remains around 15 to 20%, which is significantly higher than the national average. सरकार कहती है कि युवा देश का भविष्य है, लेकिन अब ऐसा लगता है कि भविष्य को ही वेटिंग लाइन में लगा दिया गया है. So my question to the Honorable Minister is, if the education system is truly being aligned with the industrial needs, why do such large number of educated youth remain unemployed or underemployed? And what concrete steps is the government taking to ensure that education leads to real job opportunities rather than just degrees? Because Honorable Speaker, जब युवाओं के सपने बेरोजगारी की फाइल में दबने लगते हैं, तब समस्या सिर्फ नौकरी की नहीं रहती, वो सरकार की जिम्मेदारी और नीयत दोनों पर सवाल होती है.
Honorable Madam Speaker, in response of the opposition question, I would like to answer regarding the unemployment. I think opposition love quoting about the unemployment figures, but they have forgot about that India is
producing a large number of opportunities than faster that they can count the oats. So coming to the main point, while CMIE data reflects the youth unemployment was 15 to 20%. As per our government, where we have enacted the comprehensive measures through all the sectors, Skill India Mission and Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, where we have trained over 1.25 crore youth in industry-ready skills, and the PLI schemes attracted 1.76 lakhs crore investment, and where it has been generated 12 lakh jobs in manufacturing sector like electronics, pharma and automotive. Startup India has supported more than 1 lakh startups, creating opportunities in fintech, agri-tech and edutech. Through Digital India, lakhs of IT jobs have been created, while PM Gati Shakti is expanding logistics and infrastructure employment. As the grassroots MSME initiates the certain 11 crore livelihoods and PM Mudra Yojana, where it has been disbursed 27 lakh crore loans, empowering the small entrepreneurs to become job creators. This is not about just unemployment figures. It is about building a resilient workforce and ensuring India's youth lead the 21st century economy. I would like to say, Honorable Speaker, उनके पास excuses का stock है, पर हमारे पास employment का rock है. Opposition के लिए youth एक burden है, पर हमारे लिए youth एक भारत का brand है. रोजगार के नाम पर अपोजिशन सिर्फ शोर मचाता है, पर हम नौकरियां बनाने वाले हैं ही बीजेपी. So I would like to say that the government just do not hand out the degrees. It's about our careers, and that's why our youth are building the futures, while the opposition is still stuck in building the arguments.
Honorable Shashi Tharoor, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Law Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and respected members of this Parliament. I rise today to invoke a principle fundamental to our Republic: the citizens' right to know under Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause 1 of the Constitution. Democracy thrives not merely on elections but on transparency and informed consent. Yet, ironically, between 2018 and 2024, over 16,000 crore flowed through the electoral bond scheme, a mechanism that shredded political funding in deliberate opacity, concealing the identity of the donors. One might ask, was this transparency or a rather sophisticated architecture of secrecy? When transparency is threatened, rather than being treated as a duty, the question inevitably arises: is the government protecting the democracy or its donors? लोकतंत्र में पैसा छुपाना नहीं, हिसाब देना पड़ता है. So I ask the Honorable Minister, how did the government justify defending such institutional opacity until the Supreme Court had to intervene? And on what constitutional basis can a democracy demand trust from its citizens while denying them the right to know? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the Honorable Member for the question. Their sudden and heartfelt concern for judiciary, it's truly touching to see such a deep affection for justice. For those who were in power, treated judicial reforms as coming soon movie trailer, but never actually released. Yes, there are pending cases in our courts. Let us remember that these cases are not new. And these are the heritage projects which are left behind by the previous government. And the opposition now speaks about the delays. Justice
as the backlog mysterious appeared overnight, like unexpected guests at a wedding. Honorable Speaker, the government is not sitting idle. We are strengthening our judicial infrastructure, promoting digital courts, e-filing systems, and fast-track mechanisms to reduce dependency and ensure the quicker access. Instead of counting pending cases during debates, I invite opposition to join us in supporting meaningful reforms that will make justice delivery system faster, more transparent and more accessible every citizen. After all, Honorable Speaker, justice is not a political slogan to be shouted. It's a responsibility that requires cooperation from both the sides of the House. Thank you.
Honorable Imran Pratap, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Minister of External Affairs.
Namaste, Honorable Speaker. Now, in the presence of you and of all the esteemed members of the House, I stand here to ask a question to the Minister of External Affairs. In the recent event of a war breaking out between Iran and United States, an Iranian naval vessel, INS Dina, which was carrying over 130 Iranian sailors, which was in the region in connection to the International Fleet Review, was bombed by the United States submarine on March 4th, killing over 87 Iranian sailors and leaving the rest gravely injured. And India, as the host for the International Fleet Review, stayed silent and did not release any statements conveying their condolences to the bereaved family and for the injured victims. For the host to not release any statements is very callous. ईरानी नाविकों की जान गंवाने पर भारत की सरकार ने अभी तक क्यों अपना शोक व्यक्त करते हुए बयान जारी नहीं किया, ये मेरा सवाल है जयशंकर जी से।
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I appreciate the concern raised by the opposition. In fact, I wish they showed the same concern when they were power. And India had no maritime policy whatsoever. Honorable Speaker, the opposition calls us silent. Let me give this House the exact timeline. February 28, 2026, Iran requested docking permission. March 1st, 2026, India said yes. Within 24 hours, March 4th, IRIS-11 docked at Kochi. 183 sailors sheltered at Indian Naval facilities. March 9, I personally addressed both the houses of parliament. हम वो देश है जो पहले काम करते हैं बाद में बात, और यही हमारा चुप्पी का राज है. And Iran's own foreign minister publicly thanked India. जब ईरान ने खुद शुक्रिया अदा किया तो ऑपोजिशन का ये सवाल सिर्फ पॉलिटिकल ड्रामा के लिए है क्या? The opposition questions India's sovereignty before powerful nations. This is the same India that took its own decision at the UN, not because anyone told us to, but because we decided what is right for India. Both sides of this conflict came to India for help because they know when the world is on fire, India is the only one with water. And yet, the opposition stands here questioning our relevance. Honorable Speaker, irony भी इतनी blind नहीं होनी चाहिए. जब दोनों दुश्मन आपके पास मदद मांगने आए, तो आप कमजोरी नहीं, अब जरूरी है. That is New India, sovereign, strategic, unstoppable. Jai Hind.
Honorable Alka Lamba, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development.
Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development. Over the years, the government has announced several welfare schemes and initiatives aimed at improving the lives of women, ranging from financial assistance and skill development programs to support systems for health and safety. However, it is often been observed that many women, particularly in rural and economically weaker sections of society, face significant challenges in accessing these benefits. Lack of awareness, bureaucratic hurdles, and gaps in implementation frequently prevent these schemes from reaching the very women they are intended to support. As the saying goes, a promise made is a debt unpaid. In this context, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister what specific mechanism, monitors and accountability measures has the government established to ensure these welfare schemes more beyond policy documents and effectively reach every deserving woman at the grassroots levels of India.
Honorable Speaker, the member provided a quote. A promise made is a debt unpaid. Honorable member, we are not here with promises today. We are here with passbooks. But let me first address something to the House. The member says schemes are not reaching rural women, lack of awareness, bureaucratic hurdles and implementation gaps. Honorable member, which year's data are you referring to? This is India in 2025. This is not the India of 2004. And this is not a slogan, it is a system. Honorable Speaker, let the numbers speak for themselves. Direct benefit transfer 2014, 38 lakh crore transferred directly into the beneficiary's account. No collector, no middleman, no complaint. Please come back on Friday. Because bureaucracy cannot intercept what arrives before it wakes up. PM Mantri Vandana Yojana, 3 crore mothers receive direct cash support for maternal nutrition. Not a ration, not a coupon, and cash in hand in account. Ujjwal Yojana, 10 crore women LPG connections to BPL women. A woman cooking on firewood in 2005 is not a welfare gap. It is a failure of previous government that we considered, cylinder by cylinder. Now, Honorable Member, I want to address your concern about monitoring because announcing a scheme and delivering it is two different disciplines. Poshan Tracker, 7 lakh Anganwadi centers monitored in real time. Every child weighted, every improvement tracked. District collectors have live dashboards, not quarterly, not annual reviews, live daily accountability. 8.7 crore women in self-help groups under Day Nilayam. There are not women waiting for government help. These are the women, the particular women that became help. The member speaks of grassroots as it is still 2010, when a rupee left in Delhi has become 50 paisa before it reached the state border. That system is gone. What it replaced? Jan, Dhan, Aadhaar, Mobile. The jam trinity. The three things that make together leakage structurally impossible.
Honorable Raja Ravichandra, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways.
Honorable Speaker, today I want to talk about the crumbling excellence of our national highways. The Delhi-Mumbai Expressway was built as India's pride. But Honorable Speaker, the first rain came and the road didn't just crack, it melted. Adhyaksha, idi highway leka railway? Budget ఏమో 1000 కోట్లు అంటారు, కానీ రోడ్లు చూస్తే మాత్రం 1000 గుంటలు కనిపిస్తాయి. Was the ministry's quality control department on a vacation or a commission mission? Now look at the math. You collect 50,000 crores in tolls. My question is simple. Where is the money? Every 1 kilometer we have 50 potholes. ఇస్రో వాళ్ళు మూడు మీద గుంటలు చూడడానికి ఎన్నో కోట్లు ఖర్చు పెడతారు. అదేదో మన టోల్ రోడ్లు చూస్తే అన్ని గుంటలు రోడ్ల మీద కనిపిస్తాయి కదా. If 50,000 crores can't fix a pothole, then what exactly are we maintaining? The roads or the bank accounts of middlemen? Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I thank the respected member for raising this concern. First, let me clarify that the contracts for national highway projects, including the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, are not granted arbitrarily or as favors. They are awarded through transparent e-tendering processes conducted by the National Highway Authority of India, undergoes supervision of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Every bidder undergoes strict
technical and financial evaluation before a contract is finalized. Regarding the concerns about cracks after rainfall, I would like to assure the House that quality monitoring is continuous and multi-layered. Independent engineers, third-party auditors, and advanced technologies such as satellite monitoring are ensuring construction standards. On this question of toll collection, the Honourable Member mentioned a figure of 50,000 crore. Toll revenue is not profit for the government. It is reinvested into building, expanding and maintaining India's highway network, as well as repaying loans for the large infrastructure projects under initiatives such as Bharat Mala Pariyojana. In fact, this ministry, India has witnessed the highest highway expansion in its history, with national highway construction increasing from 12 km per day in 2014 to more than 30 km per day in recent years. This reflects the government's commitment to creating world-class infrastructure. Therefore, instead of questioning the integrity of the system, we must recognize that India's highway infrastructure is undergoing a massive transformation, and the ministry remains fully committed to transparency, accountability and quality in every project. Thank you.
Honorable Pariniti Sushil, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Home Minister.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker and the esteemed member of National Youth Parliament. Cybercrime is increasing rapidly in the digital era. According to NCRB data, more than 56,000 cybercrime cases have been reported in recent years, including online fraud and digital payment scams. सर, जब देश डिजिटल हो रहा है तो सिटीजन्स की डिजिटल सेफ्टी भी उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर लोगों का पैसा और उनकी जानकारी सुरक्षित नहीं है तो फिर जिम्मेदारी किसकी है? Therefore, my question to Honorable Home Minister is, if cybercrime cases are increasing every year, why has government not been able to control this digital fraud effectively? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for raising the issue of cybercrime. But the Member of Parliament, our government has established the Cybercrime Coordination Center I4C and the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal and 1930 Cyber Helpline that ensures that victims of financial fraud can quickly report incidents and prevent further losses. Police forces across the country are being trained in cyber forensics and digital investigation so that criminals hiding behind screens cannot escape the law. But what's surprising me is the attitude of the opposition कि जब देश डिजिटल रेवोल्यूशन की तरफ बढ़ रहा है तब विपक्ष का काम सिर्फ डर फैलाना और सरकार पर आरोप लगाना रह गया है। For decades, when they were in power, there were policy paralysis, corruption and weak governance. Today, when India is becoming a digital powerhouse, they suddenly claim to be concerned about cyber security. So let me remind them, जब आप सरकार में थे तो घोटालों की हेडलाइंस आती थी और आज जब हम सरकार में हैं तो डिजिटल प्रोग्रेस की हेडलाइंस आती है और टेक्नोलॉजी के पीछे छुपने वाले अपराधी याद रखें, भारत की कानून व्यवस्था उन्हें ढूंढकर कानून के कटघरे तक जरूर लेकर आएगी। धन्यवाद।
Honorable Damodar Rao, you may please ask your question to the Honorable Prime Minister.
Honorable Speaker, Parliament and esteemed members, I rise today as a representative of Telangana and as a member of opposition to raise some important concerns before this House. Honorable Speaker, I rise today to question the ruling government regarding the promises made to the farmers of our state. Honorable Speaker, governance cannot be built on publicity and propaganda. Governance must be built on truth, transparency and accountability. Farmers are not statistics in a report. They are the backbone of our economy and lifeline of our nation. Making promises to farmers and failing to fulfill them and
It's not just a policy failure, it's a betrayal of trust. I'll repeat again, it's a betrayal of trust. అధ్యక్ష, మన KTR సార్ కూడా సవాల్ చేసిండు ఈ రుణమాఫీ గురించి. అధ్యక్ష, ఈ రకమైన పుకాయింపు, ఈ రకమైన మోసం మంచిది కాదు అధ్యక్ష. Honorable Speaker, over 50% of farmers in India are in debt, with an average loan of 70,000 to 75,000 per household. In this situation, farmer loan waivers are not a luxury but a necessity. So I ask the government, how many farmers have actually received the full loan waiver? The farmers of this country deserve truth, not promises. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
अगर सरकार सिर्फ वादे करती और काम नहीं करती तो आज 3 करोड़ से ज्यादा किसानों के खाते में राहत की रोशनी नहीं पहुंचती. As per official records, lakhs of farmers across states have benefited from loan waivers and restructuring schemes. In fact, more than rupees 3.2 lakh crore worth of agricultural loans has been addressed through waivers, interest, subventions and direct support. किसान के खाते में पैसा गया है और उनके बोझ को कम करना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है. We must remember loan waivers are not only the solution. Alongside waivers, we have ensured PM Kisan direct transfer to 11 crore farmers, crop insurance coverage and MSP procurement worth rupees 2.1 lakh crore annually. किसान की पीठ पर बोझ कम करना भारत की पीठ को मजबूत करना है. धन्यवाद.
Honorable Priyanka Gandhi, please present your question for the Road and Transport Minister.
Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the Road and Transport Ministry, where do we stand on Vision Zero? Countries like Sweden, America and Norway are aiming for zero road death, and in India, every 3 minutes a person dies in a road accident. ये है देश के सड़कों की पहचान. According to 2023 BBC report, India has one of the deadliest road network in the world. और ये आंकड़े तो 2023 के हैं, क्योंकि हमारी सरकार के पास आंकड़ा निकलवाने की जरूरत है और ना वक्त है. Honorable Speaker, the irony is that 36% of these accidents occur on highways, while the highways make up only 2% of our total road network. और हमारे मंत्री जी टिप्पणी करते हैं कि यह हाईवे स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी से बनी हुई है. तो बताइए कि यह है आपकी स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी? Tell me, sir, who is responsible for this loss and negligence? And can ever India dream of Vision Zero? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for raising an important issue regarding road safety and aspiration of Vision Zero. First, let me acknowledge the concern. The government does not deny that India faces a serious road safety challenge. According to official record, around 1.72 lakh people have lost their lives in road accidents in 2023. And every lost life is a tragedy for the nation. But it is important to understand the context. India is one of the largest road networks in the world and over 300 million registered vehicles, with traffic increasing rapidly every year. The Honorable Member compared India with countries like Sweden and Norway and cities like New York, which pioneered the Vision Zero approach. I want to inform the House that India has also adopted the same philosophy of zero tolerance for road deaths. The ministry is actively working towards this through engineering improvements, stricter enforcement and safer vehicle standards. The Honorable Member mentioned 36% of accidents occur on highways, which represent...
Please conclude your remarks.
Finally, I want to emphasize that the goal of Vision Zero is not achieved overnight. Even in countries like Sweden, it requires sustained efforts over decades. Thank you.
Honorable Priyanka Jalkoli, please present your question for the Finance Minister. Honorable Speaker and the esteemed member of the Youth Parliament, through you I rise to raise a serious question before the Honorable Finance Minister regarding the growing concern of the economic inequality of our country. According to the Oxfam International, the richest 1% of Indians own more than 40% of the country's wealth, while the bottom 50% survives on the rest 3% wealth. Yet we constantly hear claims of India being one of the fastest growing economies of the world. If the economy is truly blooming, why are millions still struggling for basic education, healthcare and employment? ऐसा विकास किस नाम का जो देश को पीछे छोड़ दे? So I ask the Honorable Finance Minister, is this government genuinely committed to reducing inequality, or economic growth is becoming a success story only for the privileged few?
In your presence, respected Speaker, I would like to thank the respected member for bringing up this report. But let us be very clear, this government works on verified report, not on sensations made for international headlines, while the organizations like Oxfam relies on assumption. The reality of ground is completely different. In this decade, there is 7-fold increase in the ownership of motor vehicle and 8-fold increase in the ownership of refrigerators in the rural areas. ये क्या है? ये गरीबी नहीं, ये देश की बदलती हुई तस्वीर है. Also, the member also asked about equitable distribution. So, what can be more equitable than direct benefit transfer (DBT)? Gone are those days when 85 paisa was stolen. Now 100% benefit is transferred into the accounts of beneficiary. ना बीच में आप आए और ना ही हम. To the critics I say, आंकड़े आपके हो सकते हैं पर परिणाम हमारे होंगे. धन्यवाद.
And finally, Honorable Renuka Chaudhary, please present your question for the Defence Minister.
Honorable Speaker, India today faces a complex and evolving security environment with multiple strategic challenges along its borders and in the wider geopolitical landscape. While the government has repeatedly stated its commitment to strengthening the nation's defence preparedness, several defence analysts have raised concerns about whether India possesses a clear, defined and comprehensive long-term defence strategy that can effectively address future security challenges and ensure sustained preparedness of the armed forces. Through you, I would like to ask the Honourable Defence Minister whether the government has formulated a clear and comprehensive long-term national defence strategy to address future security challenges, and if such a strategy exists, why its objectives, policy measures and implementation framework have not been more clearly articulated before Parliament.
Honourable Speaker, I thank the Honourable Member for raising a very important question regarding India's long-term defence preparedness. Let me clearly state, India does have a well-defined long-term defence strategy, but in matters of national security, every operational detail cannot be placed in the public domain. राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के कुछ पहलू ऐसे भी होते हैं जिनको खुले रूप से व्यक्त करना देश के हित में नहीं होता. However, I would like to assure this House that the government has taken concrete structural steps to strengthen India's future defence capability. The establishment of Chief of Defence Staff and the Department of Military Affairs has ensured joint planning and integrated long-term military strategy across the Army, Navy and the Air Force. Through the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in defence, India is systematically reducing dependence on foreign imports. Theatre command reforms are being implemented to ensure faster coordination and modern joint warfare capability. Simultaneously, India is investing heavily in cyber warfare, space security, artificial intelligence and modern surveillance systems which are critical for the wars of the future. Honourable Speaker, defence strategy is not merely about documents placed before Parliament, it is about capability, preparedness and deterrence on the ground. Thank you.
The House is now adjourned to meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
patriotic leader who represents the energy, aspirations and leadership potential of the new generation. I now request Ms. Sarika, Head Department of English, to kindly read the profile of the chief guest, Shri KT Ramarao, sir.
Thank you, Nirajita. I deem it an honor and privilege to introduce a leader who has been at the forefront of one of India's most remarkable development stories, Sri KT Ramarao Garu. Sri Kalaputla Tarak Ramarao is a visionary leader who was instrumental in driving the economic growth and development of the Indian state of Telangana. KTR, as is widely known, is the working president of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti and a 5-time legislator representing the Sirsila constituency in Telangana. Over the past decade, he has played a pivotal role in shaping the state's economic and innovation landscape. Sir has completed his schooling from St. George's Grammar School and earned a bachelor's degree in microbiology from Nizam College, Hyderabad. He has 2 postgraduate degrees, MSc in biotechnology from the University of Pune and MBA in marketing and e-commerce from Baruch College City, University of New York, New York. During his tenure as Minister for IT Industries and Municipal Administration in Telangana, Sir had positioned Hyderabad as one of India's leading hubs for technology, life sciences and entrepreneurship. Many of the state's pioneering initiatives, including T-Hub, B-Hub and T-Works, have emerged under his leadership, fostering a thriving ecosystem for startups, innovators and young entrepreneurs. During his tenure, he has also been a strong advocate for the empowerment of women and youth and has led several initiatives aimed at promoting gender equality and providing training and employment opportunities for young people. His policy initiatives such as TS IPAS transformed the way industry approvals are handled in India, making Telangana one of the most investor-friendly destinations in the country. Beyond governance, he is widely regarded as a strong voice for youth empowerment, innovation and progressive urban development. With academic experience from both India and United States, he brings a global perspective to public policy and economic development. Sri KT Ramarao Garu has received Audrey Bitt's Inspirational Icon of the Year Award for Politics for the year 2015 and Scott Challenger Award in the Startup India category for Telangana's path-breaking initiative T-Hub and Scotch Best Performing IT Minister Award for the year 2020. Unflinching resolve, commitment and inclination to fight for the welfare and development of the state made Sri KT Ramarao Garu to work with a wide spectrum of industry and political leaders in India and abroad. Today, as working president of BRS, he continues to champion policies that prioritize growth, opportunity and inclusive development. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it is my honor to invite the distinguished chief guest, Sri KT Ramarao sir, to kindly take the stage and share his valuable thoughts.
Firstly, I know that you're all hungry, so I won't take very long to try and keep this simple and short. But what a refreshingly different parliament we saw today. You know, a parliament where the speaker is neutral. The speaker actually gives opportunity to the opposition as well. So I think we should thank the honourable speaker firstly. We should also. And a refreshing change in the sense that both the treasury benches and the opposition, both in fact showed a lot of civility towards each other. Typically they say parliamentary language में बोलना है, पर क्या होता है आपको भी मालूम है, मुझे भी मालूम है. Personally, so I think we should give a big round of applause to all of them. Keeping it very, very civil, but keeping it very, very simple as well. More importantly, I think almost all the issues, that probably can be covered in a short span of time. Important issues like unemployment, important issues such as women's safety, important issues such as road safety and roadworthiness in terms of commuting, and several other international issues also, the war, the Iran, Israel and US war, etc., etc. Many topics have been covered. I compliment all these guys on a fantastic job. I think you guys have done really good job. Or I was asking your principal, Dr. Sister Vijay, if all these guys are prepared on their own or if they have been given some inputs by the teachers. So I think we should give a big round of applause to the faculty as well for preparing this video. Let me say one thing. There is a very senior judge in the US Supreme Court, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She had very famously said, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. Leadership rarely begins the day someone takes office. Leadership begins much earlier, such as in spaces where ideas are debated, arguments are sharpened, and voices learn not just to speak, but also to be heard. I think that's exactly what we were witnessing at St. Anne's College today. So I think this hall is one such space where you saw young women trying to understand issues, trying to articulate them, trying to enunciate probable solutions as well. Now I think all of you know just 2 days ago, we had celebrated International Women's Day. Social media was full of posts, celebrating women's leadership, achievements, etc. But walking into this hall today, actually, it feels far more meaningful than scrolling through those social media posts. Because today, we're not just celebrating women, we are seeing young women preparing to lead this brilliant country of ours, brilliant state of ours. So I think you see a lot of young women in this room here who possibly, potentially can become politicians, can become leaders, can become public representatives, can become really change makers. Before speaking about larger themes and before speaking about education, because we are in an education institution, let me also acknowledge something important about your institution, the St. Anne's College of Women. Today, education has increasingly become a very noisy space. It's all about marketing everywhere, rankings everywhere, promotions everywhere. But institutions like St. Anne's, I said this to your principal as well, represent something far more meaningful. For decades, for almost 43 years, St. Anne's College has quietly gone about it, doing quality education and consistently doing this, the real work that is needed. That is something really appreciable. And all of this is being done without any noise, without spectacle, but with enormous impact. You have educated generations of young women and prepared them to step into the world with confidence, independence and purpose. And when an institution goes a step further and creates a platform like Youth Parliament, it does something even more significant. It encourages young women not just to pursue careers, but also to engage with governance, public life and leadership qualities as well. Let me share something interesting with you. On January 26, 1950, India became a republic. On that very same day, Supreme Court of India also was established. And yet, almost 8 decades later, we're almost on the verge of 8 decades plus, India has never had a women Chief Justice so far. This fact should not discourage you. In fact, it should encourage you. Very soon we will be having our first Chief Justice of India, a lady Chief Justice of India, Justice Nagarata. Hopefully, some of you in this room, because you're all students of BA, public admin, I think journalism and multiple other courses. Hopefully, the next Chief Justice of India can also come from a hall like this. A young woman can start doing this. As you all know, we are the world's largest democracy. But democracy does not necessarily mean elections alone and speeches alone. Democracy is when people participate. When citizens participate, when citizens are aware, when citizens are thoughtful, when they are responsible, and when they are willing to engage with leadership. Now, what do I mean when I say participate? You know, most of you young women have voting rights. Anybody who is above the age of 18 has a voting right. How many of you have had the opportunity to vote so far? You had the opportunity, but did you vote? You did? No, I'm glad you did if you did. Because one of the things I see and I really feel sad for is young, educated voters in India, especially those living in urban pockets like Hyderabad. They don't show up to vote. उनके लिए इलेक्शन का दिन छुट्टी का दिन है. उनको लगता है कि उस दिन हॉलिडे मिल गया, फिर कौन जाएगा वो बूथ पे और 1-2 घंटे वहां खड़े रहना और टाइम वेस्ट क्यों करना. But the fact of democracy is, in a democracy, politics decides your future. In a democracy, politics decides your future. I heard the loudest cheer when the girl who was representing Ravichandra spoke about how bad our roads are, how many potholes there are. आप लोग बहुत ज़्यादा ताली मार रहे थे, पर आपको एक बात मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आप पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करते हो आपके कॉर्पोरेटर इलेक्शन में, आपके कॉर्पोरेटर को चुनने में, if you don't participate in electing your local corporator, local MLA, local member of parliament, what happens is only those who show up to vote, their opinion counts. Only their thoughts and their views count. Those who don't show up, unfortunately, even though you might have the best of intentions, even though you might want the best of roads, best of colleges, best of facilities, if you don't show up and vote those people who have the right intentions, then nothing counts. So my humble appeal to all of you, when I say you have to be involved and participate in the process, I don't mean all of you have to start contesting elections. At least participate in the process, at least show up. You know, 1-2 घंटा लगेगा. आइए, लाइन में खड़े हो जाइए, and maybe take the bull by the horn. And if you don't like somebody out, kick them out. If you like somebody, vote them in. That's how democracy thrives. So my humble request to all of you, please participate. Social media में तो आप सभी लोग हैं. I'm sure all of you are in Insta. All of you. कोई ट्विटर पे भी है. कम. क्या ट्विटर बुढ़ों का है? इंस्टा पे सब लोग हैं. इंस्टा पे रील देखना तो आसान है, स्वाइप करना आसान है. I wish it was so easy, as easy to change our governments just like that when you don't like a road. But unfortunately, it's not. It doesn't work that way. Insta पे you can just, move something in a second, microsecond. But government को 5 साल के लिए चुना जाता है. एक बार अगर गलती करते हो, तो उसके साथ 5 साल आपको झेलना पड़ेगा. That's what you want to get into your heads. कि एक गलत वोट की सजा 5 साल. So इसीलिए you have to show up, you have to vote for those people who truly believe that they can do something. My humble request also to you, platforms like this matter. Youth Parliament, because you saw the opposition and the government engage in a debate. A sense of democracy is that. Discuss, debate and dissent. If you don't like something, you can always... We object to it. There's a very popular saying in English which says, in a democracy, the opposition has its say and the government has its way. Because the opposition will continue to represent the people's issues. But the government, because they have the majority numbers, they can pass legislations, they can pass resolutions, they can get their business done. But the opposition still should be heard. The opposition should be given a voice. Only then democracy will truly thrive. I must compliment the leader of opposition here. I don't know your name, beta. Tanu? Tanushri. I wish Rahul Gandhi spoke as eloquently as Tanushri, honestly. Because she spoke really well. When I was listening to you, I was making notes, mental notes. Seriously, very, very well spoken. Honestly, only when opposition raises issues the way she did, only when you're eloquent, only when you succinctly in the limited time that you're given, you're able to present your argument, only then people can connect to it. So my humble request to all of you, there are issues, there are very, very important issues that have been discussed today. One of the issues that was raised by 2 or 3 members from the opposition was about war. There is so much panic in the country right now. Hotel associations are coming to us saying LPG nahi milne wala hai, hotel band karna padega, etc., etc. There is a panic mode in the country, in India right now as we speak, not just in Iran or Israel or the Middle East. But we are starting to feel the impacts of this mindless war, which was also raised here. But the fact is, when I was listening to these girls, I realized something. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. You know, all the presidents, all the prime ministers, the chiefs, the heads, who are warmongering, I have to say this with utmost candor, have all been men. Have all been men. No women leader in the history of this world has ever taken their nation into a war which led to crimes against women and children. That is a fact of world. It is a fact of matter. Maybe that is the reason why we need more women leaders who have more empathy towards fellow women, fellow children, people who basically are more sensible instead of being, you know, the kind of presidents that we see around today. I don't want to name names because I'm sure there are people watching. So therefore what I would say is, maybe this is the time for you also to think about politics, public life, etc., etc. There was also discussion on equality. Equality is a very misunderstood word. Equality doesn't just mean providing opportunities. Equality does not mean being given a permission to participate. Equality means an environment where ambition is not questioned. When a young woman wants to be the Chief Justice, when a young woman wants to be the Chief Minister, when a young woman wants to be the Prime Minister, her ambition, or an entrepreneur for that matter, should not be questioned. That's equality for you. Where a young woman can speak with conviction, and yet it should appear normal, not as an exception. Also, we heard about women empowerment. The government was going on and on about empowerment. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Empowerment does not come from slogans. Empowerment comes from confidence. Empowerment comes from confidence. And confidence comes from voice that matters. Confidence that your ideas can be heard, will be heard. Confidence that is built through institutions like St. Anne's College of Women, where education, dialogue, participation, all are encouraged. That's exactly what Youth Parliament today is all about. I would only say one thing to all the young women here. You know, I know you're all in the age group of 18 to 21, or maybe 18 to 22. You know, you're all looking at the world with rose-tinted glasses right now. But I can tell you one thing. Life does not always present opportunities easily. Life ahead is going to be a tough task, so be prepared. But opportunities can be created. While it can be a tough road ahead, opportunities can be created through determination and courage. Several leaders have shown it. One thing I would appeal to all of you. One thing I would appeal to all of you to hear me out and probably go back home and discuss with your parents as well. Please remember, young women, especially at your age, need financial independence. You need to stand on your own 2 feet before thinking of marriage. जब आप अपना खुद की कमाई शुरू करते हो, चाहे आप नौकरी करो या कुछ एंटरप्रेन्योरियल कुछ करो, जब तक आप नहीं करते हो, मेरा तो सलाह है, मेरा तो राय है आपसे, मेरा सजेशन है कि आप जल्दबाजी में शादी नहीं करो. You have to stand on your own feet. You have to stand on your own feet and financially be independent. Only then, self-respect, confidence and freedom to make your own choices, only after achieving this, you should think of marriage. Because otherwise, women across the world, and sorry to be saying this, are pushed into marriages and then they are looked at as baby-making machines, and there ends the story. You're engaged in running a home. You're just a homemaker. And trust me when I say this, don't get me wrong also when I say this, nothing can substitute self-belief, self-respect and self-reliance. So please be financially independent before thinking of marriage. Governments and institutions can create opportunities, but it is up to you to latch on to them, to hang on to them. You need determination and courage to pursue such opportunities. And you're all growing up in a time when technology is transforming everything. You know, there is a talk that AI is going to take away a lot of jobs. I'm sure you all heard it. I'm sure you're looking at a situation where horror stories like millions of jobs going away, etc., etc. Artificial intelligence, digital platforms, and new technologies are definitely reshaping everything that we have learned so far. But the only way to survive in this world today, remember Darwin's theory of evolution? Survival of the fittest. The only way to survive in a competitive world is to constantly skill, upskill, and reskill. If you don't do that, because every human being, forever, till the minute we die, has to be a student learning something new every single day. Or else, we will end up stagnant, we will end up obsolete. So my humble request to all of you is, learn new skills, build ideas, and create opportunities from anywhere. And please don't obsess over social media. Spending an hour is okay, but I see some kids getting addicted to it. Constantly on the phone, constantly engaged in reels. That's not going to serve any purpose. Today, you see a 50-year-old man standing in front of you and lecturing on the usage of social media or the ill effects of it. You'll not like me saying it, but you'll remember this later. It's not going to serve any purpose. Achieve something in life first. Accomplish something in life first, and then you have enough and more time to do whatever you want. Let me also tell you that, opportunities are aplenty. You have VHub in Hyderabad, a women entrepreneurs hub. If you have an idea, you can go to VHub, or you can go to T-Hub, you can go to T-Works. All of these institutions have been established by government for youngsters like you. You have to walk in with an idea, and you can walk out with a product. You can walk out with a prototype. That's the power of innovation today. मैं एक चीज आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं. आप आज जब घर जाओगे, when you go back home, look around, or even in your college or in your classroom or in your Audi here, look around. How many of these products that you see around you, including this mic here, or including that air conditioning there, or the lights, etc., etc., how many of them are actually Indian products? You'll hardly see anything. The camera here, it's a Sony, a Japanese make. You see a Blue Star. You see, I don't know where this mic is from. I'm guessing it must be from, again, somewhere, definitely not Indian, something else. So, look around. आपके हाथ में जो फोन है, कौन सी कंपनी है? Samsung होगा, Apple होगा. Is any of the products you're using Indian? We are a country of 1.4 billion people. How come we can't discover something for the rest of the world? एक भी चीज, एक ऐसी चीज बताओ मुझे जो इंडिया ने पूरे दुनिया को दिया हाल ही में. हाँ, कोई बोलता है कि हमने जीरो दिया कभी इतिहास में. हाँ, जीरो तो दिया हमने, पर उसके बाद क्या? Anything that we have done for us to be proud of? We have big slogans. आत्मनिर्भर भारत, this, that. ठीक है, पर कहां हम लोग रह गए? कहां पीछे छोड़ गए? दुनिया कहां पीछे छोड़ गई हमें? Think about it. Why can't you young Indians, young Indian girls, why can't you innovate something? All of you use Snap? All of you use Insta? Some of you use Facebook? No? So Facebook is all old people, huh? समझ गया? तो Insta or even Snap or even ChatGPT, I'm sure all of you type your essays there and bring it and submit it to your teachers. Is that right? Most of you do, I know. So let me ask you something. ये क्या कोई ऐसा प्रोडक्ट है क्या Insta जो हम लोग नहीं बना सकते थे? Is it something that's like rocket science which we could not think of? Even Google for that matter, it's a simple search engine. How come none of these products that we use today, not one single product has come from India in the last 8 decades after independence? How come we don't think that, we have to come out with world-class products and, change the world, etc., etc.? How come we lost that appetite? How come we lost that, strive, ambition? Because you guys are told from a very early age कि आपको पढ़ना है, जिंदगी में रिस्क नहीं लेना है, अच्छे मार्क्स लाना है, उसके बाद ही में एक नौकरी करना है, उसके बाद ही में शादी करना है, उसके बाद में शादी करना है. उतना ही ना? किसी को बोलते हैं कि लॉयर बनो, किसी को बोलते हैं कि डॉक्टर बनो, किसी को बोलते हैं कि इंजीनियर बनो, किसी को बोलते हैं कि आप एकेडमिशियन बनो. उसके अलावा क्या? एंड देयर आर इनफ एंड मोर पीपल टेलिंग यू कि रिस्क नहीं लो. डोंट टेक अ रिस्क. But my sincere suggestion to you, I am a middle-aged man here standing in front of you. My sincere suggestion to you, life goes by in a blink. I still remember my college days. Now all of a sudden I am 50. So life goes in a jiffy. You don't realize it. My kids are in college now. You don't realize it. And you're given only one life, by the way. You only live once. So live it well. Live it boldly. Dream big. Think big. Pursue it. If you fall, it's okay. If you pursue a dream and you fall, you fail. It's okay. You can always get up. You can always bounce back. You have enough. You are very, very well equipped with the kind of education you've received. So be bold. Be ambitious. Be aggressive. हाँ, the world will tell you. आप जो सोच रहे हो वो नामुमकिन है. नहीं होना है. पागल हो क्या? बोलेंगे आपको. People will discourage you. Initially they'll laugh at you. They'll mock you. Then they'll argue with you. And eventually when you win, they will clap for you. That is how the world works. So don't ever let somebody else tell you that you can't do something. I mean, not when it comes to snatching your phone, when your mom tells you, give me your phone. Not that kind of argument I'm talking about. I'm talking about dreams for life. My humble request to all of you, governments and institutions can only enable opening doors and, enable creating an environment, etc. But it's up to you to pursue those ambitions. Lastly, I'll say only one thing. Women, like I said, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, women belong in all places where decisions are being made, is what she said. And when we look around the world today, yes, there are some very, very important women who are increasingly shaping those spaces. Leaders like Angela Merkel, who guided Germany through some of Europe's most challenging economic and political movements. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand, who demonstrated how leadership can be both compassionate and decisive. Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, who broke barriers to become the first black woman Vice President of the US. And here in India, we have seen some remarkable women rise to positions of power and influence across different fields. Indra Nooyi, who went from Chennai to leading one of the world's largest global corporations like Pepsi. Geeta Gopinath, shaping economic thinking at the highest levels of global financial institutions such as the International Monetary Fund. Falguni Nair, who built Nykaa into one of India's most successful unicorn/entrepreneurial stories. Kiran Bedi, the first lady IPS officer who challenged conventions and redefined leadership in public service. Srimati Mamata Banerjee, who built a political movement and went on to be the leader of one of India's largest states. These journeys remind us of something important. Glass ceilings are not permanent. They exist only until someone decides to break them. So maybe it is you girls who probably need to think bold and think big. It all begins, this journey to break glass ceilings begins in classrooms like this. It begins when young women like you begin to start thinking independently, speak confidently, and participate fearlessly just the way these guys did. So speak, debate, question, participate, because the future of democracy will not only be shaped in parliaments, it will also be shaped in places like this by young women who are prepared to lead. And I truly hope that many of the future leaders of our country emerge from institutions like this. And if any of you are interested in politics, any of you at all, I also extend open invitation to join me as I work to and come back in Telangana. So thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate this opportunity that has been given to me, and I compliment the organizers, especially Public Admin Head Lavanya Anjali Garu, who's invited me for this event. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Telangana.
Thank you, sir, for that immensely inspiring address. May I cordially request you to be on the stage for just one more moment. I now request respected Sister Principal and Correspondent Sister Maria Rani to kindly felicitate the Chief Guest for the day, Shri K.T. Ramarao, sir. Audience, a round of applause, please.
I request respected Sister Principal and the correspondent sister, Sister Maria Rani, to kindly felicitate our chief guest for the day, Honorable Shri K.T. Ramarao Sir. I request the deans, the IPAC coordinators to kindly join on the stage. The felicitation ceremony is followed by the prize distribution for the vibrant speakers of today's Youth Parliament session.
I thank my co-judge, Vaddam Srinivas Rao sir, for judging the event along with me. First prize goes to the ruling party Home Minister Yashika Agarwal, BA3. For the role of Amit Shah. Bindu, BCom final, General third year, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. I request them to be on the dais. Opposition party, Saima Khan Shaukati, President, BBA General. Wahida of BBA Second Business Analytics. For enacting the role of Gaurav Gogi. Special prize to Jessica Ruth, BBA General second year, for enacting the role of Vadi Raj Ravichanda. Special prize to the Speaker of the House for navigating throughout the session in the most dignified manner. Speaker Samraja, BCom second year, Business Analytics. We congratulate all the prize winners, participants for their wonderful performance. Thank you all.
With this, we come to the end of the prize distribution ceremony. Thank you all the participants of today's session once again for your active participation.
Good afternoon, one and all. This is Manal, MJLP second year student from St. Anne's College Women. Former Telangana Minister Shri K.T. Ramarao visited St. Anne's College Women, Mehdipatnam today to participate in the Youth Parliament organized by the Department of Public Administration under the Saga Club. Addressing the students at the St. Joseph Auditorium, K.T. Ramarao highlighted the importance of youth participation in democracy and encouraged students to actively engage in public affairs and leadership.
Today, the Department of Public Administration, along with its club Saga, is hosting a youth parliament, creating a platform for students to discuss leadership, governance and democratic participation. We are also deeply honored by the presence of former Telangana Minister KT Ramarao, who will be addressing the students at St. Joseph Auditorium. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to KT Ramarao, sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule and visiting our campus to interact with the students. His willingness to share his experiences with young minds is truly appreciated. The students are really grateful to hear from a young leader who has been involved actively in public service. Thank you, sir. This is Ridhima Nair, President of Samaj and a BA final year journalism student reporting from St. Anne's College for Women, Mehdipatnam.